Have you ever wondered how to read a CSV file in C? Well, today I'm going to show you. So what we've got first is we've got a data file full of little bits of data. So you've got some names, you've got some ages, and you've got some money. So we want to parse this data, and we want to find what someone's name is, or what a certain person's name, their age, and the amount of money they've got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by creating a main .c file, and we're going to start off by hashtag including the standard library, which is stdlib.h, and then we're going to do hashtag include stdio.h, and we're going to include the std brew.h, and then we need to include string, not string, string.h. So we now need to create an int main and pass void in here. And the first thing we need to do is open the file. So I'm going to create a file pointer called CSV file, and we're going to do CSV file equals fopen, and it's going to be, the first argument is the data.csv, and then it's going to be what mode we're in, so which is R for reading. And then what we're going to do is create a buffer. So we're going to do buffer, and it's going to be we need to specify type, my bad, buffer, and it's going to be 12024. Then we need to create a row variable, so it's int row equals 0, and int going to be int column. Right, is equal to 0. So now what we're going to do is, those are just prerequisites, that row and column variable, we're going to use them later. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write fget, and it's going to be what variable, so it's going to be buffer, and it's going to be the size, so we're going to write size of buffer, and then it's going to be the CSV file. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to basically print f all this data. And we're going to see what happens. So we're just going to do printf buffer, and we'll f close the C file and return 0. So now what we're going to do is you've got to make sure you've got your saved file, and then you've got a compiler. So I've got GCC, and I'm just going to do main, and then main.c. There we go, name, age, money. So what's it done is it's gone into fget, and it's just printed out the first result because that's the first line it's seen. But if we do while fget, and we do it in a while loop, watch what happens. I'll explain what happens. So I'm just going to make sure I've saved this, and then compile it again. So the reason why it didn't print all those lines at first, or didn't print all the data, is because it's only getting the first row of the data, but while we put a while loop in, it's going to continuously read the data until it returns a false for it. Until it returns false from having no data left. So that's why it continues printing like this. So that's good. Now, why did I define row and column? Well, that's because I'm going to use some stuff called strtalk, and I'm actually going to separate these and use the data. So I'm going to start off with this while loop by doing row ++, and then I'm going to do, this is important, column equals 0. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do char. It's going to be pointer because it's going to return a pointer, or a string value because we don't have strings in C, and it's going to be called res alt. I really do need to sort out my keyboard, I'm really sorry. And then it's going to be buffer, and then it's going to be comma. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to do print f result. We actually do need to do that. Oh, and first, almost forgot, s space and then we're going to do a while, and it's going to be while value because, or while result. I'm used to calling it value during my learning, so that's why. So in while result, what we're going to do is we're going to do column ++ result equals strtalk, which is a tokenizer. I'll explain how it works in a minute. It's going to be null, comma, and then finally what we are going to do is we're going to print f. It's going to be percent s space, and it's going to be result. So we're now going to compile it. And as you can see right there, the reason why it's saying null, there's no commas as you can see here, but the reason why it's saying null, have you ever wondered that? Well, the basics of reasoning is because there's a new line and then there's a space, or meant to be, case starts there. So that difference between the line is causing that null error. And basically the computers don't see new lines as new lines, they just see all the data in a file as one big string, and then /n means new line, and the compiler and operating system went to handle those requests and display them as new lines. So that's pretty good. So what we need to do now is we now need to, basically the final task is to find a specific bit of data. So let's say we want us to do Stacy's, and we want to find Stacy's age. So how do we do that? Well, let's do my number first. So if it's going to be, now we're going to delete that print f result. What I'm going to do, if, and with me, it's going to be if column, and how many spaces, because this, believe it or not, actually starts from 0. So it's going to be 0, 1. So if column equals to 1, and row equals to, and this one starts from 1, 2, 3, because it does ++ first. So it's actually just going to be 3. We're then going to go down here. We're just going to hit tab on here and then add the brackets. Boom. So there we go, recompiled. Boom, there we go, 10. And that is how it's doing. And if you ever wondered how str top worked, well, essentially it's just going to go along and it's going to find that comma and it's going to just split them all up by that comma. So it's going to continue reading and split them up. Hope you had fun creating a simple parser. I'll see you later. Bye.